Berlin Quarterly is an arts and literary magazine, and as the name would suggest, it is based in Berlin, but it looks much more broadly than that across Europe and the world to present this lovely kind of snapshot of what it is to be alive today. I spoke to the editor James Guerin at the start of this year, and he talked about his love for classic magazines like, say, Paris Review from like the 1950s, and the way that they just give this really eclectic view of the world at that time, and that's what he's trying to do with this magazine. And I think that one of the things they do really well is create these little echoes that run through each issue. So this issue starts with a series of short pieces by Edwidge Danticat, all about the idea of living with death. And so whether it's a grandmother, and she was an old woman and refused to be sad about the idea of dying because that was her time, that's what she was going to do. Or there's a piece here, Dying Together, about the earthquakes in Haiti and the people who died there and the terrible injustice of that just random death, and then some of her own close calls, her own brushes with death. And so just kind of returning to the idea of death as something that is with you in life the whole time. And then there's a piece of reportage here called Libertà, which is following a judge who lives in Italy and has basically made his reputation for trying to break the cycle of violence in Mafia families. And so children are taken away from their families in Cantabria and sent to live in Sicily, and by doing that they break the kind of traditions and the expectations that are placed on these children, and give them a real chance at a different type of life. It's a really lovely collection of unexpected stories. You do not expect, there's a lot of translation here as well, so these are some Irish poems translated by Paul Muldoon. Things that you would not expect to see next to each other, but there's just a real poise and control about the magazine that means that whatever they're putting next to each other just somehow makes sense. It's a really beautiful magazine, and we have copies available to buy in the Stack Shop now, so go and pick one up.